Welcome to Locked and Loaded Sports. It's time to lock in, load up, and win big. If you're serious about sports and love cashing in on solid bets, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's get to work. In this video, we are breaking down 5 must-target quarterbacks based on last season's statistics and their current ADP. We are essentially giving you 5 free winning draft picks. By blending historical data, advanced sports analytics, and real-world sentiment, we are delivering the sharpest picks possible to help you dominate your fantasy drafts. Only one fantasy manager in your league will get to draft the unicorn, also known as Josh Allen. But for everyone else, this video will help you dig deeper so you can find value in the mid to late rounds of your fantasy draft. Let's get into it. We are starting things off with an absolute draft day steal that completely redefines late round value. San Francisco 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy. If your league mates are overpaying early for big-name quarterbacks, just sit back and relax. Let them bleed premium capital while you cruise into the double-digit rounds to target a massive statistical bargain with the clinical pilot of the Niners offense. Think about the disrespect this guy gets across the industry. The mainstream narrative labels Purdy a safe system manager, yet his actual numbers tell a completely different story. Last year, despite playing through mid-season foot and shoulder injuries, he quietly averaged a blistering 20.8 fantasy points per game, finishing as the overall QB 5 in points per game efficiency. He wasn't just managing Kyle Shanahan's offense, he was actively winning fantasy matchups. What makes his outlook even crazier heading into the 2026 season is the absolutely loaded environment fueling his campaign. Not only do the 49ers get a fully healthy Christian McCaffrey back, but San Francisco completely reloaded the weapon room by trading for future Hall of Famer Mike Evans and signing veteran Christian Kirk. Pairing Shanahan's brilliant play design with heavily upgraded downfield targets means Purdy's passing ceiling is primed to go through the roof. Look at where he is sliding in drafts right now. With the market price hovering around pick 105, you can comfortably secure a top 5 point per game quarterback in the late 9th or 10th round. Stealing that kind of high-end production allows you to completely stack your roster with elite running backs and wide receivers early on. National analysts already project him as a top 10 NFL MVP favorite for a reason, making Brock Purdy the ultimate late-round blueprint to anchor your championship build. We are getting locked and loaded with Brock Purdy. If you appreciate this content, hit that subscribe button. Thank you. Moving right along to our next value target, New Orleans Saints quarterback Tyler Shough. While most managers are skipping past him because New Orleans only won 6 games last year, they are blind to his dominant second-half breakout. Now firmly entrenched as the starter in Kellen Moore's upgraded offense, Shough's draft price sits at a bargain ADP of QB 19, which is a bargain for a starter with a top 10 fantasy ceiling. Unlocking his true potential requires isolating his hyper-efficient profile from week 8 onward. Once he commanded the huddle, Shough put on a masterclass in short to intermediate accuracy, pacing 4th in the NFL with a 78.8% on target rate and 2nd in completion percentage on throws under 20 yards, 76.0%. He wasn't just checking down, he consistently sustained drives while playing mistake-free football, anchoring his floor as the overall QB 12 in points per game during his 9 starts. What makes Shough a priority is his rushing upside, the ultimate fantasy cheat code. By chipping in 186 rushing yards and 3 scores on the ground in just half a season, he proved his legs provide a heavily insulated weekly safety net that protects your lineup even on a difficult passing day. Casual players will waste picks on low-ceiling veterans while Shough slides into the double-digit rounds. Do not let him fall. Operating a fast-paced, weaponized New Orleans offense, Tyler Shough delivers a premium weekly ceiling without forcing you to compromise on elite skill players early. Stashing him as a high-end backup or streaming him as your late-round starter is a textbook championship strategy. We are getting locked and loaded with Tyler Shough. This fantasy advice is totally free and so is the like button. Please remember to smash it. Now, if you want a true league-winning wildcard for your draft, our next major recommendation is newly acquired Vikings quarterback Kyler Murray. The mainstream fantasy community has written him off after an injury-shortened year in Arizona, assuming his days as an elite dual-threat engine are over. They see a crowded quarterback room with J.J. McCarthy and panic, completely missing the gold mine waiting in Minnesota. Because of that surface-level fear, Murray's market price has plummeted to an unprecedented bargain, sitting way down at an ADP of QB 17. To understand why this price tag is a steal, you have to look past his 5 games played last year and isolate his exceptional under-the-radar efficiency. Before injury ended his 2025 campaign, Murray was flashing elite passing traits, quietly posting a sharp 68.3% completion rate while averaging a productive 17.25 fantasy points per game. He proved his processing and deep ball placement are entirely intact, keeping drives alive despite operating a heavily flawed offense. The real ignition switch for his 2026 ceiling centers on how badly the public is mispricing his rare rushing advantage. Even in his limited 5-game sample last season, Murray racked up 173 rushing yards and a score on the ground, pacing for nearly 600 rushing yards over a full season. Now, he gets to pair that devastating mobility with a fully loaded Minnesota arsenal featuring absolute rocket fuel targets like Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Your league mates are going to pass on him early because they are hyper-focused on old injury reports in the summer camp battle. Let them make that mistake while you focus on the upside. Operating a high-octane, vertically aggressive Vikings offense, Kyler Murray gives you a legitimate path to a top 5 overall fantasy finish at a double-digit round price tag. Stashing him as your primary target or pairing him with a safe veteran is the ultimate blueprint for breaking your draft wide open. Please leave a comment with your favorite fantasy QB. It helps our channel out a bunch. Thank you. Next up is the ultimate high-floor anchor to stabilize your build, Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott. Despite leading the league in completions last season, mainstream fantasy analysts are heavily fading him over regression models and turnover luck. They are completely overthinking it, letting an elite passer slide directly down draft boards to an ADP of QB 8 around pick 79, an absolute gift. The key to capitalizing on this mistake is realizing Prescott's elite passing metrics give your team an incredibly secure foundational baseline. He remains a clinical distributor, consistently operating as one of the league's premier choices for raw passing volume and red zone conversion. This isn't a risky projection-based flyer. He has a multi-year track record of high inefficiency as the pilot of an aggressive aerial attack. Securing that predictable volume removes the weekly headache from your quarterback position. What truly solidifies his monster potential is the financial and personnel backing Jerry Jones just poured into this offense. Dallas restructured massive contracts to ensure total continuity for a unit that coordinator Clayton Adams is primed to keep among the league's best. Instead of losing pieces, they surrounded Prescott with premium talent, pairing alpha superstar CeeDee Lamb with vertical weapon George Pickens and keeping dependable safety valve Jake Ferguson. The rest of your league will inevitably gamble on volatile rookies or reach too early for Tier 1 dual threat options. Let them take those risks while you scoop up premium value. Leading a highly aggressive Dallas offense, Prescott offers an elite floor and top 5 weekly ceiling without forcing you to sacrifice early draft capital on running backs and wide receivers. We are getting locked and loaded with Dak Prescott. We are closing out this video with the total market mispricing that is happening in fantasy drafts right now, and it leads directly into our final recommendation, Los Angeles Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert. While casual fans are fading him because they assume Jim Harbaugh is going to run the ball on every single play, they are missing the bigger picture. With Mike McDaniel now running the offense, Herbert's current market price, sitting at an ADP P10 in the late 7th or early 8th round, is an absolute gift. You are drafting a Tier 1 arm talent at a fraction of his true ceiling. To see his real value, you have to look past the raw passing totals and focus on his evolving rushing profile. Herbert quietly added a massive dimension to his fantasy floor last year, logging a career-high 83 rushing attempts, which ranked 5th among all quarterbacks. This wasn't just accidental scrambling. He was actively utilized as a weapon in the red zone, finishing top 10 at the position in goal line carries. When you inject that kind of rushing upside into an explosive McDaniel scheme designed to create space, his fantasy baseline shifts dramatically. Beyond that secure floor, the environment around him is primed for a statistical explosion. Last season, Herbert battled through a steady QB1 performance, despite throwing behind a decimated offensive line that is now fully intact. With a healthy front 5 and an upgraded core of premium wideouts, his passing efficiency metrics alongside his established goal line usage, he transformed from a safe starter into an overall QB1 candidate. You might want to consider checking his MVP betting odds. Ultimately, Justin Herbert gives you elite weekly upside without forcing you to burn a premium 2nd or 3rd round pick. We are getting locked and loaded with Justin Herbert. That wraps up another breakdown here on Locked and Loaded Sports. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the latest sports analysis and betting insights. More picks, more locks, and more action is coming your way. That's all for now. Stay sharp, stay ready, and get locked and loaded.